Ladies, the closest way to a man's heart is through the ribcage. True statement. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Amanda, your Cutie of Carnage here for another film review. Yay! Like a lot of you guys know, I have been sick the last few days. And I just want to thank everybody who has sent me get well wishes and just sent me all their love. Although I'm still not 100%, I am a whole lot better than I have been this weekend. For sure. A lot of you saw my live stream from last weekend. Y'all saw that I lost my voice and I was just a bad wreck. But it's okay because I have my tea with me. No, there's no whiskey in it. I did not put whiskey in my tea. It's just regular tea. So it is not Horror on the Rocks this episode. It's just Amanda drinking tea. So cheers. Anywho, guys, I'm so happy to start off this month because if while y'all know what we talked about last live stream is this month is going to be the month of love. This month we're going to be talking about romantic horror. And to kind of push it off, I'm going to go ahead and do a film review on a little movie that I just saw recently. Honeymoon. 2014's Honeymoon was written and directed by Lee Treadaway. This is her first movie that she's directed, but she's really known for directing episodes of Outcast, Robert Kirkman's Outcast, and she's directed some episodes of Scream. I've never seen either of the series. I've heard many great things about Outcast, but that comes into the category of one of the shows that I've missed out on due to just the big amount of shows just coming out. I have so many I have to keep up with anyways. I got Ash vs. Evil Dead, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. You got American Horror Story. You got Twin Peaks. You got everything coming out. So unfortunately, Outcast and Hannibal had kind of went under my radar a little bit. But I do plan on watching it soon when I get a chance. But she has directed Outcast and Scream, and she's written on a few other films, but Honeymoon is going to be kind of like her first film she has fully directed. Honeymoon stars Harry Treadaway and Rose Leslie. Those two names might sound familiar because Harry Treadaway was very famous for his role in Penny Dreadful. I know that was one of the shows I was really into up towards the end. It kind of lost me at the end. You know, the whole possession supernatural thing just wasn't my thing. But he played Dr. Frankenstein in Penny Dreadful, and he's also in the new show on, I believe it's Hulu, Mr. Mercedes. I have yet to watch that show. Another show I've yet to check out, but I've heard great things about it. But when I think of Harry Treadaway, I think of two underground English films that I saw that I love, and that's Cockneys vs. Zombies, and of course, one of my favorites, Attack the Block. Attack the Block, he played the stoner guy in the headphones who's on the elevator and kind of is oblivious to what's going on until kind of the ending. And he was Cockney vs. Zombies. He was the brother. So yeah, he's really, really funny. It's different seeing him as a comic relief and then seeing him now in more dramatic roles because he's always played kind of the comic relief in English films. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And Rose Leslie, a lot of people might know her from a show that I don't watch, not because I haven't really got a chance to, I just don't like it. And of course, everybody knows I'm talking about Game of Thrones. Shoot me if you want to, but I just can't get into that show. It is just not my cup of tea. I tried watching it. I made the mistake of watching it with my dad, and it did not, I was very uncomfortable. And so it kind of just threw me off. The incest and just rapes and I can't get into it. So, if you guys like it, more power to you, but it's just not my thing. So, yeah. And she also played Amy and Morgan. So, and she was on a few other films, TV shows too. She was in Downton Abbey, and she was on a show that my dad used to watch all the time called Luther. So, you had the two stars. You have Rose Leslie, who plays Bee, and you have Harry Treadaway, who plays Paul. And the story basically starts off, you have this two newlywed couple, Paul and B, and they're just totally in love. And of course, they decide to go on a honeymoon. Instead of going backpacking across Europe or what have you, they decide to go to a little countryside kind of vacation spot that B, the main character, the woman, used to go to when she was a small child. Her parents owned this little vacation home, and it was kind of a nostalgic feel, I guess, that she decided to take her now husband there. And although they're two English actors, they play American, so I'm not sure where in the countryside they go to. They don't really establish it in the film, but they end up going to this very quiet, secluded kind of area. They decided to go because the fact that it was off season and there wouldn't be a lot of people there. So they end up going to this hooded area out in the middle of nowhere, and it starts off really sweet. It starts off, you know, they're just couples, and they kind of, in the beginning of it, they establish the relationship right away. They have they start off with just showing the story and their relationship and how they met and their first date and their wedding itself and how close they are, you know, calls her honeybee, and they're just so in love, and it shows them fishing together and what have you. So the movie starts off very well of establishing a relationship. You actually feel these people in love. You know that they love each other dearly and they intend on spending the rest of their lives together. So it starts off there. Well, then one night something happens to the main girl, B. Something happens to her. I'm not going to get into spoiler territory because this film is very good at just having you guess what's going. You can't really guess. You're kind of, it's like a little mystery. You kind of have to put the pieces together. But something happens to her, and then things start kind of being weird. You know, she forgets things that usually she doesn't forget and what have you. And he slowly starts realizing, you know, things are happening, and it just goes from there. By reviewing this film, I'm first going to talk about this story. I really, really enjoyed this story. That being said, this is a non-spoiler review, so I will not get into the twists and turns of the film, but I will tell you guys that it keeps you guessing. It keeps you guessing. And just being that you care about these characters so much, it brings you into the story more and makes you feel more for the characters because you know these people are in love and you feel for their relationship. So when things start happening, the story kind of has a way of making you feel more involved with the little hit bits. It doesn't treat the audience dumb. And that's what I like about it. It doesn't treat the audience dumb. It kind of brings you to it, you know. It kind of drives you along because you're finding out the same time as the character's finding out. It's not like you find something out and then the characters find out. You're in there with the character. The acting was fabulous. I love the acting. I love Harry Treadaway to begin with. He has great comic timing. He's just a very good dramatic actor. Like I said, before seeing him in Penny Dreadful, I was used to seeing him as a comic relief. So just seeing him evolve as an actor in more of these dramatic roles, because a lot of people in the U.S. see him as a dramatic actor, and I see him more as a comic relief. So to see him just evolve from that to Penny Dreadful to this, it was really awesome. And Rose Leslie also, she was a great actress. She made you feel for her in ways that, see, I can't really get into it without explaining the story, but when the things happen to her, you kind of feel, she doesn't feel like a victim. And it's not like, this film is considered, I said, more of a body horror film. I consider it more body horror, but the fact that, you know, these things are happening to her, she has a way of having you kind of feel sorry for her, but at the same time, she's a fighter and she's fighting against it. And you kind of see bits, and she was really good at bouncing back and forth from, like, the thing that was taken over her to, you know, what have you. So anyways, yeah, so she was a great actress in that, and I really enjoyed the two main leads. The supporting actors, there weren't really many. There was two other people in the film that were in there, and they were only in there for just a total of maybe like on and off throughout the film, I'd be like 20 minutes maybe. They weren't in there very long, but they did what they're supposed to do. They supported the story, and they supported the characters. So that's what I really like too. I like when I see supporting characters actually support the story versus that are just there to be there. So they really kind of supported the story, and they kind of added more mystery to the event itself. I'm going to say event because I'm not going to go ahead and spoil anything, but there's an event that happens and it supports more to it. So yeah, so the acting was fabulous. The setting of the film was very believable. When I say believable, I mean, like, there's a lot of times where I see an atmosphere and I see a set where people go into it and you're like, oh shit, that's haunted. Or, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, y'all shouldn't be staying there. It's scary. Like, come on, guys, it's scary. Obviously, this is a haunted house, or obviously, this is a scary area. A lot of stuff's going on. But when you go there, it's a beautiful atmosphere. It's very relaxing. And you kind of feel the safety that the characters are feeling. So whenever this incident happens, it's more terrifying because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Because you have to understand, B, that's where she grew up. She grew up in this area. You know, she's been there many times before. So the sense of having a safety net and a sense of home, being a victim of something so horrible, and taking that safety away from her to where, you know, it can happen anywhere. Anything bad can happen. And so that's what was more terrifying than that. It's just an invasion of home, an invasion of safety. That's kind of like the aspect of kind of like the body horror that comes in that too, is because you have a sense of relaxation, and then you're taken when you're most vulnerable. You know, it's her honeymoon, she's relaxed, and then something happens and it kind of takes that net away, and it just keeps you out. Keeps you out and keeps you vulnerable for things that come a knocking. Now we get to the gore. All right, guys, the gore. There is not much gore in this film. I'm not gonna lie. There is not much gore. Towards the end of the film, it gets pretty gory. It gets pretty crazy, but it leads up to it. Like, this film is kind of a slow burn. It's not a total slow burn like most films that I know. It's not like, you know, it's not like it comes at night. It's not like A24 films. It's not like, you know, all these other slow burn films. It's a little slow burn, but it still kind of keeps you. It's not symbolistic. It's not any of that. But it is a slow burn to where the effects are concerned. There's not a lot of effects. There's not a lot of gore. But then comes to the ending, it gets balls to the wall and it gets bloody and what have you. You know, the body horror aspect pretty much surfaces towards the end of the film. So I was really happy that they didn't go full gore towards the beginning and the middle. I liked how they kind of like got you kind of going and got you through the story. And then when everything kind of surfaced, that's when they hit you. And that's when everything went basically. So I said it again, everything went. So yeah, the gore was awesome though. It was very good effects, and it was practical effects, and that's what I appreciated most about it, is the practical aspect of it, because I love practical effects. Although I do understand that a lot of films can't really go the practical way, I still do respect when they can go that route, and they do go that route. So the gore is pretty awesome. Not much, but pretty great. So I guess I'll go ahead and go to my pros and cons of the film. I guess my pros are going to be everything I listed. The story's been fantastic. The acting was great. I really appreciate the practical gore, as well as I really appreciate the settings too. The settings was very, I like it when a film can be scary, but not, you know, foggy and creepy, crooks at the night, and just when it's just something so beautiful that can be so scary at the same time. And that's what I loved about it. So the setting was great too. The cons, I will have to say, I have two main cons with the film, and that's going to be, I'm not going to get into spoiler, but come the ending, I wasn't really satisfied. I wasn't satisfied with the ending. I did appreciate the ending, but I was hoping they would go another way with it. I was hoping it would be more fantastic, I guess the best way to put it. I wish it would be more kind of overplayed and just crazy, because the whole way the story was going was just insane as itself, and I was hoping they would go more. It is a crazy ending, but I wish they kind of went past a little bit and kind of dug a little more and kind of made it more, I guess, traumatizing, I guess, for the character. That's the best way I could put it. I just wish they kind of pushed it a little more. And that's me saying that, but at the same time, you know, everybody's so desensitized to, you know, horror and gore and stuff that, you know, a lot of people do crave that. So maybe that's just my personal opinion, just because I am a horror fan and I have seen it all. So whenever I see something's repeated or something that doesn't go balls to the wall when it's needed, basically. Like this story I think could have went a certain direction and didn't. That being said, a lot of people like this movie because of the simple story and the simple ending, I guess, best way to put it, and the way it just ended. So yeah, that was my first con. It's a really nitpick kind of deal. I still like this story. I just wish it kind of puts it a little bit more in the deep end. So my second con is going to be something that is spoiler. So I'm not going to get into it, but although I wish they kind of pushed the ending a little bit, I was really disappointed in the reason why everything happened. I'm not gonna say, I'm just not big into certain types of horror movies. I'm not really into certain genres. So when I was hoping it was one thing and then the ending reveal happened, I was kind of like, really? Like that's it? Like that's it? Really? So that's another nitpick for me because I just don't like that genre of horror film. So when that happened, I was just kind of like, I was hoping to be something else. Honestly, my overall opinion of the film is I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't anything like fantastic that you write home about. It was more of kind of just a very, I want to say satisfying, because there are parts I was kind of like, oh no, why go here, and you should have pushed it more. But it was very simple and it was a simple story that didn't try to be anything that it wasn't. And it was very sweet. It had a lot of love. It had a lot of just desire and a lot of desperate need. There's a lot of, you can see how desperate the characters were, and you just feel the love in it. And that's what I think sold me on the movie the most, is the characters. Because if I didn't feel for the characters, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have not liked this film if it wasn't for the two leads. If it wasn't for the two characters and their story and just the relationship and the acting, like it just drew me in because I fell for these characters. I really did. It made my heart break. Towards the ending, I almost started crying. It was just such a good it was such a good relationship and dynamic between the two main characters, and that's what I loved about it, and that's what won me over the film. Although I wasn't really a big fan of the ending, like I said before. But so overall, I really enjoyed this film, and I picked this film to review because, like I said, it's February. It's the month of love. So I picked this movie because I think this movie is a great date movie. I wish I would have saw it before I did my countdown romantic films, because this would have been on the countdown. Although it is not better than Spring. Spring still is my #1 romantic horror film. But this one, I think, comes to like maybe a #4 for me, just because of the relationship between the two main characters that I absolutely adored. Anyways, guys, that kind of concludes my review today of Honeymoon. You guys know, like I said, it's February. It's the month of love. So stay tuned for all of our romantic horror films episodes. This weekend, Matt is going to go ahead and do the live stream, because although I said that I'm feeling better, I'm still not 100% better. I kind of dragged myself out of bed to do this video, but as I'm coming to the end, I kind of feel like I'm about to pass out again. I just feel fatigued, my throat hurts, my head hurts. I just feel like a big mess right now. So anyways, guys, don't forget that Valentine's Day is next Wednesday. So get everything you need for your significant other or loved one. You guys, don't forget, this Saturday, although I will not be in attendance because I am taking off to get better, Matt is going to be hosting a live stream. Yes, he's going to be hosting a live stream this Saturday, and it's going to be Bloodlust. I don't know if he's going to be having a guest host or what yet, but they're going to be talking about their favorite, goriest horror films. So I'm pretty excited about that, so y'all don't forget to check that out. Usually go live about 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? Because I seek approval. And also, guys, don't forget, comment below. Because I love to hear what you guys have to say about my videos. I know I'm just starting to kind of come around on this channel. I know I've been gone for a while because I've been sick, but I still would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the movie Honeymoon. You can check it out right now on Netflix. And guys, next Wednesday's Valentine's Day, like I said, and I have something special planned for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've been working on it all week, and I'm really excited for y'all to see it. So it's my special Valentine's Day episode of Cutie Carnage Reviews. Anyways, guys, don't forget to be nice to each other, because life is way too short to be mean. I know, because I've been sick. And even when I was sick, I probably wasn't the sweetest person, but I still tried my best. So you guys need to try too. Hey guys, well, I will catch you next Wednesday on my Valentine's Day episode of Cutie Carnage Reviews. Till then, bye! I so love horror movies. Would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel?